WDUB, your ear to the street.
Don't know what I'm about. They haven't seen.
Like I said, we have Ledisi in the building right now talking to you guys. I know you're feeling good about that. She was at the Christmas concert yesterday, and we're so excited to have you in the building.
Well, thank you for having me. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you,
This
thank
is a tough job.
Thank you so much.
So I know our students appreciated you singing with them, and most of them want to be where you are now. How does it feel to come back and sing with students who want to be where you are?
Well, I feel like I'm always learning something, so I learned a lot from them last night. It reminded me of just the beginning of just expression, you know, and I studied in classical, being from New Orleans, so it felt good to be surrounded in that energy and their excitement. I think they're beautiful singers, and it was an awesome concert and fellowship. It felt like church, and it was just a concert, but it was even bigger than that for me. I had a good time.
We had a great time as well. And speaking of having your own thinking, your own feel, how has growing up in New Orleans played a part of your image and your personality and everything about you? Because you're so distinctive. We love the hair, we love the makeup always, we love the looks. So how has that played a part of you building your image and your brand?
Well, you know, when I started, I didn't have an image. I just sang. That's how I looked at music. It's just music. I didn't think about what you had to be on the inside. You have to also represent that on the outside. I'm pretty fiery, edgy, kind of shy, but you wouldn't know that the way that I perform. But I'm very, like, even last night I was so nervous performing in front of people at home more than anything, because you want to make a great impression. I'm representing y'all, you know, so you don't want to let anybody down. And when I started, I didn't have an image, but I grew into this to learn how to express myself, because I had a lot of rejection about my image. It wasn't good enough, or I'm not good enough. We don't know what to do with you because you don't have an image. You can sing, but we don't know who you are. So I started to, it just happened naturally. I wasn't focused on it like everybody in the industry was. I just kept on singing. And even with my first album, it's funny, I was nominated for Best New Artist in the Grammys. And then that's when people go, oh, who's this Ledisi chick? They didn't know anything about me, but my album's been out for a year. And then it blew up a little bit. And then after that, they still didn't recognize me on the street. But when I put my hair into this mohawk for my album for Turn Me Loose, that's when people started to notice, that's Ledisi. And I thought, wow, I've been here now for over 12 years and you're just starting to notice me just because I changed my hair. Not really. It just all went together, you know? So basically you just have to find your niche, and I did everything naturally. I do music naturally. If it feels good, I'll do it that way. If I felt like putting my hair up, I really didn't want people to see my face, you know, because my hairstyle was like, but they need to see your face. That's why they didn't recognize you before. So, you know, I did it naturally, and then it blew up. My hair became a thing, you know. So it's fun just being me. If I can't do me and be myself naturally, I would rather not be in the business, and that's why I almost quit. Is because they wanted me to be a certain way.
Wow, that's powerful. Talking about the Grammys, you're nominated for the Grammys. How does it feel, and what are you nominated for?
Well, I'm nominated for 3 Grammys this year. There's only 4 categories in my in the R&B category. I'm nominated for vocal performance on Pieces of Me. I'm nominated for R&B song for Pieces of Me, and also nominated for R&B album for Pieces of Me. So I'm very excited about that because, you know, because there's only 4 categories, and out of all the people in the industry, this is stuff that we acquire, we hope to acquire to be nominated and then to possibly win, you know. It's a lot of work, and then you want to be recognized. This is an award given to you by your peers, you know, so even to be nominated is now a big deal because there's only 4 categories and 5 people per category. So you're like, please, God, let me be known, you know, in that area of music that your peers know you. So when I found out, I was screaming at the computer, and I was amongst my family, and we just hollered and screamed. It was fun, and the phone kept going till 4 a.m. Yeah.
Those nominations are a really big deal.
Yeah.
And one thing critics said about Pieces of Me, they said that At times you sound like Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Erykah Badu. Like, what do you feel about those comparisons?
I don't mind comparisons at all. I just think it's a compliment, and people need comparisons to know where to compare you to. You know, she sounds like this person, that person. But I always say I sound like Ledisi. I sound like me. And yes, they did. Their influences are in there. You know, and I'm happy to at least know them personally so I can ask them questions about some of the things that go on in our business. So it's good. It's a compliment. I think it's a compliment.
So,
what went through your mind when you were making Pieces of Me? Because it's a really powerful song for women. And
You mean the song, just the
yeah, those
song?
lyrics,
Yes, just the
like,
song.
The song, I was not wanting to record that day, and I felt very, you know how women feel like sometimes we just want to be in our jammies and go home and we don't want to talk to anybody?
Right.
I was having one of those kind of days. And Clyde Kelly was like, well, how do you feel? This is the end, towards the end of your album. How do you feel about everything? I said, well, it feels like, you know, how I am. I'm all over the place a lot. I'm very vulnerable. I'm shy. I'm complex. A lot of things people don't know. And women, sometimes we just want to express ourselves in different ways, but we're always told, be a lady. Well, sometimes I just want to scream. Can I scream this day, or can I be that? And he said, gosh, this is the next song, Pieces of Me. And I said, yeah, women are complex, and it's okay. And women call me and they Twitter me and they say, man, this song, you said everything how I feel as being a woman. And it's funny, the men actually love this song as well.
Yeah.
And they catch them,
I jammed it in my car a couple times.
see? Because the beat is slamming too, though. Yeah.
So was it like the song and then the album? Like, did the song give you motivation, like, for the album?
No, the album was pretty much done. It was the second to the last song I had to complete. And that's what we were talking about. You're almost done with the album, and now you're finished. What do you feel? And that's where Pieces of Me came. And then I said, wow, this sounds like the title of the album. And it felt right. And so I said, let's make it the title. And that was the first single. The second to the last song became the first single. Yeah.
What about your other collaborations on the album? What are your favorite songs from the album, or who did you like working with the most?
Well, I wrote the song Stay Together with Rex Rideout, and I knew I wanted Jaheim on it. And I didn't have the opportunity to perform the song with him face to face. So that was funny. But I knew he had to sing it with me because his voice is it's just butter. And it's kind of manly. It is manly. It's very manly, and I have a very womanly voice, so I wanted to make sure that it matched that feeling. And then after that was one of my favorite songs to write. Gosh, great collaborations. Everything was a different experience. Coffee was different from singing a song John Legend sent me, and I just recorded it and sent it back, on I Miss You. So I didn't have a favorite. It was, the body of work was like a journey, going through everything. The first song I wrote was So Into You, and it actually was very churchy before the version you hear now. Because I had wrote very simple churchy lyrics, and my producer was like, excuse me, where's your swag? Because I had done all this church music, gospel forums and going everywhere, and I was just so not ready for R&B. So I had to switch my gears up and go into R&B mode. So that was funny, coming from that to this. So everything was different. It was a journey, and I enjoyed it. My favorite part, though, was the completion of it, and looking back on the journey and going, wow, I work with a lot of great people that I didn't expect to work with, young and veterans that's been in longer. So it was a great combination of old and new.
Nice. I'll hear about some collaborations with Trombone Shorty. You did some collaborations.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, I met Trombone Shorty at the first Grammy event I went to. I think it was the second one, I think. And he was playing horn, and we did this event for New Orleans in LA. I was like, I hope we can work together. You're from the same area. And he's like, oh, I would love to. And then 2 years later, and then I'm like, oh, he signed to Verve, my label. Okay, great. And then he just blew up, and I'm like, okay, well, that's the same guy I just met. And I was like, remember? And he kept in touch. It was the same texting back and forth. Then he finally said, "Led, I'm about to work on the next album. I want you to write on the song." And I loved it. All I had was no music, just the music and no lyrics. So I wrote it with Rex Rideout, and because I wanted him to help me with some of the vocal arrangements. And it's like, then there was you. It was perfect. It reminded me of New Orleans. The best part about New Orleans for me is the sunset. The way the sun comes up and down. I don't think people notice it, but we have an incredible sky here.
Gorgeous.
And it reminded me of that, sitting and having the perfect love, and reflecting on not having when I didn't have that perfect love. So that's how that song came about. And I thought it was perfect for us, not because we're together, we're not together. I'm saying because we're from this area.
Yes,
you know,
definitely good. Mm-hmm. Good thing to have for New Orleans natives. You spoke with Verve.
Yes.
I'm sure you work with. You had your own recording label
yeah.
at first. So
Mm-hmm.
tell us about the experience. What's the difference from working as an indie artist and actually being signed to a label? What's the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is financially is different, and how you create music is different.
Did it influence your music at all? Just being with indies or being actually signed to a label, did it influence your music at all?
No. It could have if I was with a different label,
Okay.
meaning them telling me what to do. I came in there like, y'all not gonna tell me what to do, or this not gonna work. You know, you have to let me be natural. That's how I do everything. And if I don't do it natural, I'll quit. And that's what happened before. I was ready to quit because it felt like I had to be forced to be something I'm not. So I told, indie artists have it even better now than when I started. In 2000 was when I put out my first independent album, Soul Singer. And we didn't have as much social networking as we have now. So the social media is incredible. Networking is great for an independent artist now. You just have to keep grinding at it to get your fan base, but it's not as hard. See, we had blue postcards and shows, and we were like Too Short out of the trunk of the car. We were at like hip hop artists, but doing R&B. At my shows, I would sell first shows. So I sold out 2,000 CDs. At my first show after gigging, and then I had a CD release party, and it sold out. And I just said, it's at the stores. It wasn't at the stores yet. Then it was finally at the stores, and people just came to the store, and they would just buy it. Back then, they would go into the store and buy a CD. Now it's easier. You can send it. You can buy it online. And I'm very social now. It's much easier. As an independent artist, I think it would be easier, but I'm still with a major. But I still own my recordings for the independent album. I'm waiting for the proper distribution. You would think I would have that by now, and I haven't. So I'm waiting for that. I still own that with a good friend, Sandra Manning, who plays keyboards. She and I did Feeling Orange, but Sometimes Blue, which is the second independent release. And then I signed with a major because most major artists went to be with a independent. They went to go independent after they were a major artist. But I never signed with a major label and was grinding like the hip hop artist and Master P, and you know what I mean,
Right.
grinding like that. So they had an advantage because they had been signed with a major label. I hadn't. So I said, man, it's time for me to sign with a label to go to another level. The best part about that is that you have the machine behind you putting in money. If you make quality music where you have a great attitude and they feel good about you, then they're going to spend the kind of money. The other thing is you have to have a team around you. I have great management now. That's incredible. I've gone through so many different managers, and now this management knows me. They know what I need. They came in like, trust me, we'll take it to the next phase, and they did. Finally did my first headlining tour after 12 years, but they have a lot of faith. They were like, I was like, no, I don't want to do a headlining tour. They said, no, you have to. It's time. You have a great album. You have great people responding to it. The radio's going crazy over it. You have 2 singles in the top 10. You must go on tour.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So that was a big stress reliever.
I was stressed out. I had to deal with a bus, my band, taking care of all these people. I've never done that before.
Relieve a lot of stress. Those
Yeah.
managers do.
It was great though. So there's some ups and downs with it, with meaning being with a major and being independent. It both has its things, but it depends on the person. What's your comfort level?
It's definitely.
So what advice would you give to like young artists who feel like they have to change their persona, their image to make it in the industry?
Well, you know what makes you special is you, being you. who you are. There's no one else like you. Don't try so hard. I think now everyone's trying so hard to be different that it looks funny. And it looks funny to me, but it can be too much. So we go overboard with it now. It's better to just be natural at it, and where it's so natural you can walk around every day with that whole energy, and just be yourself. Be whatever it is you want to be, and you want to be that on the inside as well as on the outside. Don't come in like a star already. You know, be open to say, I'm willing to learn something from you. Like even now, I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning when I watch a show. I'm always learning. I'm always open. I'm approachable. Some people come in like, oh, what do you want? You know, and wait a minute, where's your first album? Or you only made one album. Wait a minute, wait till the second and the third. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everyone comes in already a star now. Come in humble. Have faith. Have great people around you. Study your craft. Study the music. There's lyrics there for a reason, you know. I'm just starting at my live shows. I'm incorporating everything that I am. I dance now. I never did that before in my live shows. People didn't expect it. They thought I was just gonna sing. I've been blowing everybody away. What? She did Michael Jackson? You know. So incorporate all of who you are in your shows. Think about it like this: I have 2 minutes to impress someone. Not even a minute. Our attention span is so slow.
50 seconds.
So you better hurry up in the 32 seconds, make an impression. Put it this way. I'll go to Black Girls Rock. I had a little bit of time to make a big impression. I took my little, whatever it was, 22 seconds? And made it work, and then went, oh, everybody, who was that? You know, or that's Ledisi, or whatever. So make an impact on something, whatever it is you do. But be nice, be humble, and be open. And always have faith. That's the biggest part for me. Yeah.
So we can expect a moonwalk from you in January.
Look, okay. No, I did it last month, okay?
Okay.
I was up there doing everything. No, I really just incorporated people that I love, that I was inspired by. And he was one of them as an entertainer. I mean, forget all the other stuff that went on with him personally. But as an entertainer, what I'm looking at, incredible.
Right.
Very smart as far as money, how to deal with his money and stuff, and people, and giving you imagery all day long. And you could take something really small and make something fantastic. I had 2 lights. One night we would have 2 lights. That's all I had to work with. And I made a show out of them 2 lights. You know what I mean? You gotta make it work.
Making lemonade. Making lemonade.
So what's up next for you? As far as the holidays, over this whole break, are you going to draw inspiration? Are you in the studio? Are you going to enjoy time with the family?
I'm going to have fun with my family. I'm also working on, I'm going to be done with that by then. I'm finishing up a book. I have a book coming out next year. It's a memoir, inspirational book. And then, let's see, I'm going on tour in January for the Piece of Me European tour. This is my first European tour, so I'm going to take it over there. We did a few dates in September, promoting Pieces of Me's release there. It came out there, I think, around October. See, I can't remember dates. But that's what I'll be working on, and then we'll probably... I'll sneak in some songwriting in between there to start on the next project, and just keep floating around musically and having fun with it, and seeing what comes next. I love spontaneity of everything. I think we're losing the element of surprise, so I don't give too much away about what I'm doing. I wait till you hear a big boom and you go, oh, that's Ledisi.
Speaking of surprises, you're going to have a meet and greet with the students here at Dillard.
Yes, I'm excited about that. Hello.
What can we expect, or what can we look forward to?
Well, I think what you can get information from someone out there doing it right now on the cusp of their career. You can ask questions that you need to know how to make your career better. It doesn't matter if you do music or not. It's all relevant. It'll all help. So I hope they come out and talk. Maybe 3 people will show up. That'll be really cool.
No, I think
More than 3.
You think?
Especially after you rocked it last night.
Oh, whatever. Y'all was rocking. That choir was singing. Thank you very much.
Well, guys, that was Ledisi, WDUB. Go over to the chapel right now and check her out. She's going to be there. She's going to talk to you. So run on over there. Thank you guys for listening to Ledisi
ear to the streets.